Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Stenden TV magazine. My name is Johan and I will guide you through some interesting topics today. They will be about Paradigm, changes in MEM, a party organized by Stuco, fake news, TEDx Stenden, and a great song from Tamara. First, we're going to talk about Paradigm, a venue located in Groningen. Originated from a partnership of music lovers, artists, students and entrepreneurs, Paradigm is a meeting place for kindred spirits and all the others enjoying electronic music. With its original location in a closed factory and a vast variety of events, Paradigm is becoming an inspiration source for musicians, artists and visitors. Let's take a look.
Started, it was just a one-time thing. A friend asked us to join him at that party. I had no expectations by then, when we came there, it was just mind-blowing, really.
Paradigm changed my life. I would never say 2 years ago that I will be into electronic music and will go to the rave parties and staying there all night long, just dancing and enjoying and inspire myself. You should try it.
In the beginning of the evening, you chill with your friends and you have a beer and you smoke one up. And that's super relaxing because when you're going to have a party, you have to calm down before, and it's especially when you're going to have a long party till the morning and you have to drive back from Groningen, so you actually have the feeling you're being with your family there and with your friends, and you can really enjoy the time. So you kind of pre-party at the location, and that's super special because I didn't know that from anywhere in Germany and also in the Netherlands.
I found out about Paradigm about a year ago, maybe. I think last month was my 1-year anniversary at Paradigm, and this is a really big part of my life because this community, they kind of made me love techno music and house music. All my friends they know this club and they really like going there and they really like this kind of music. How I found out, it was just, everyone was talking about it. It's always in people's heads and people's minds. If they want to have a party, a really quality, nice music, they don't go in Leeuwarden, they always go to Groningen, and it's either Oost or Paradigm. It is like family.
Welcome. Today with us is one of the creators of Paradigm, Pieter Terpstra. Thank you so much for joining us and making time for us. Could you first of all tell something a little bit about yourself?
Pieter Terpstra, I started about 10 years ago organizing some events. I will just start by the part that I started organizing events. And I started in Leeuwarden, it's my hometown. Started with a small group of people who just love techno music, and I was into turntablism myself, so I want to play, so let's organize an event. And we did this in Dozo, which was a sushi restaurant. We did some illegal raves. We rented a place which is called Het Kantoor, which is still kind of famous in Leeuwarden. We did some outside events, buiten kantoortijd, people also know. Unfortunately, we have to close that one because of the police. But in 2010, I met a guy from Groningen, my partner in crime for Paradigm, and we said, okay, let's do something together. So that's a little bit the beginning of the event.
Yeah, a little bit of the history of Paradigm.
Yeah.
Well, First of all, your location is very special, I think.
Yeah.
An old factory it was. How
Yeah.
did you came up with that?
Well, Paul already knew the place, so when he was younger, he always he crossed it with his bike, and he thought, well, let's do a party there. And when I met him and we said, okay, let's do something together, he said, I know a place. We went there and we said, perfect, so let's do a festival there. That was the first thing we did there, making a festival. And we said, well, if the festival will work, we're going to open a club. So yeah.
And it worked out.
And it worked out, yeah.
And what do you like personally the most about Paradigm and its whole concept?
Yeah, it's a difficult question because in the beginning, it was more for me to be part of the party. Mm-hmm. So always I was into parties a lot myself, doing festival stuff. So and playing, but it's changed a little bit to more on the organization side. So more the pre-work to a party, you know. So I like that now a lot. So more the organization with the whole team. That's something I like a lot right now. So this changed a little bit, but it's special that we have such a big group with people who are so enthusiastic about everything we do. It's about the volunteers, the people who work.
Concept about it.
Yeah, the creative persons, everybody. So it's a family.
It's really a family.
Yeah, it's really a family.
It's really nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. It's
welcome.
It always flies when having fun,
no
right?
problem. Okay, man.
Thank you so much. The next item is about feedback within the MEM studies. There's not much clarity regarding the subject, so our team decided to explore the different opinions within the student body. Let's take a closer look.
Hi everyone, my name is Marleen and today I'm here to ask the students of the MEM study an important question. So how do you feel about giving feedback to the MEM studies?
I don't really get the feeling that my feedback is appreciated and used.
I feel like they do value our feedback, but it's obviously a complicated process. As a member of the student council, I had a lot of meetings with the management team of MEM and also with the academic dean. And they always value our feedback a lot, but it's hard to implement it. And you also see that it often takes a long time. But for instance, I was very concerned with the success of the study program. So people who are successful, especially being valued, receiving, for instance, a cum laude certificate and so on. And that wasn't the case when I started the study, but now it is the case. Now they emphasize that a lot more, and I'm very happy that they did that. And I think that is also because we gave them a lot of feedback on that.
I think it's fine, but they don't usually listen to our feedback, or at least they don't apply all of them. So yeah, I think sometimes they do.
Yeah, well, we get asked for feedback every module, but I know that the module books are similar to the ones from the years before, so I don't think that they actually realize the feedback that they get.
I think after giving feedback, the MEM studies really implement it really well and they really listen to the students, so I think the feedback is really helpful to the studies in general.
Yeah, I think in some way they will use it, not all the time, but when it is about the modules, for example, then they are really working on it to make the modules better and more doable for students. So yeah, that's exactly the good part.
Okay, so it's obvious that the students have different opinions about how they feel that their feedback is being received. Now let's just see how the teachers feel about the feedback. So do you receive enough feedback and how do you implement that feedback?
Okay, so I guess yes. I adjust my program to the feedback I receive. I organize the feedback myself. What I do, not in every program or in every course, but usually what I do at least once in the whole series of workshops is that I ask students to fill out forms, or actually those are empty sheets where I ask students to write their comments on it. And if that leads to, I mean, if that's very specific, like items they like or not like, or specific information, specific feedback, then of course I'm happy to adjust my program to that.
As we can see, teachers are actually using the feedback that is given to them to improve the studies. This shows that your opinion actually matters.
We welcome Philip Vicenti in the studio. He's a member of the feedback department of the Student Council, and today we'll share his story about it. First of all, what are exactly your tasks at Stuco?
At Stuco, I'm part of the feedback department. Mm-hmm. We created this feedback department in the beginning of last module, so starting this calendar year, and it's pretty new.
Yeah.
And basically the task of us is to gather feedback from the students. Yeah.
That's all you do, and then you have all the surveys handing out?
Well, we do not do surveys. We actually, as we just started, we did 2 focus group interviews so far.
Yeah.
Or at least we tried. Well, then we invite students for modules. Last module we did the feedback with the media culture module, because it was completely changed. So we wanted to get feedback of it.
Yeah. And to find participants for your focus group or something like that, is it really hard to find those, or
yes,
people? Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's really hard to find participants. This module we also tried to, in the last module when we tried to do the media culture, we ran through all the module groups. We are a group of 5 people, and we said, okay, you're going to go to this group, this module group, and we asked for participants who want to do it, who want to participate. But it's really hard because, I don't know why, but because it's like extra hours later in the evening, so...
Without any credit or something?
Yeah, without any credit, so
But can you explain maybe why it's important for those people to participate in it?
Well, it's important for the people because they are the students. I think I heard every student once in a while says, "Wow, this is so shitty about my study" or something. And this feedback is really important to be heard because just then tutors or the school can improve something. Otherwise, they will just, okay, this could be improved from the tutors' side. But if you really hear the voice of the students, then it's really something which is, okay, we didn't see that, so that's something we could improve. So it's really important to hear the students' voice.
Yeah. And we saw in the clip, we saw Haro Prins.
Yeah.
Are there any more tutors involved, and are they willing to help?
Well, actually, we as a Stuco feedback department, we do it just ourselves. So, for example, we were in contact with Monique for the current feedback group because she's a module coordinator, and she asked us to do a feedback about this module she's organizing, and that's the part. Then it's Stuco, so there's no contact with the tutors, so everybody who's participating in the feedback, in the focus group interviews, they can, it's really just us students.
Yeah.
We do the focus group interview, then we transcribe the focus group interview, anonymize everything, and then it's just really about the feedback, not about, okay, the student said this, and they
really
got a bad grade.
Safe space kind of thing.
Yeah.
The students, do they take the feedback seriously, do you think?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with that they also don't really want to participate because a lot of students complain, but then they have the opinion, okay, I once heard a student say, wow, it's so hard right now, why should I even give feedback? Because then another student with my same degree has it easier than me, so that's kind of, I think the wrong...
Kind of hard.
Yeah, it's wrong mentality.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here and talk about the whole feedback process. And good luck in the future, of course.
Thank you.
The end of the school year is coming closer, and Stuco Mem has found a way to celebrate it in style. Let's take a look.
Hello everybody! Today we are here at the Blokhuis Sport where Stuco Mem's new event, the Final Co-op, will take place. The dress code for this event will be formal wear, so you can end your school year in a classy and fancy way.
Stuco Mem is the student council of the Media and Entertainment Management program at Stenden University in Leeuwarden. Next to receiving feedback from students and giving back to the tutors, Stuco Mem also organizes different types of events on a regular basis. The mission of Stuco Mem is caring for the needs of Mem students.
I've been expecting you. I would like to invite you to this year's last event, Stuco's Final Call, on the 9th of June in Blokhuisport. It's an offer you just can't refuse. Make sure you're there. Cheers. You're still here? Go buy your tickets.
So now you know a little bit more about this event. We will now switch to the studio where a guest is waiting to tell you even more. I hope to see you on the 9th of June at Stuco MEM's The Final Call. My name is Kira and I hope you enjoyed this item. See you next time!
Well, this seems promising. In the studio with us is Jelmer Zijlstra, who is a member of Stuco. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we have a nice event, the Final Call. Yes. Could you tell us how you came up with the Final Call?
How we came up with it? Well, we have Stuco are always looking for a way to, get in touch with the students, as we are the students ourselves. Yeah. And we like to have fun, obviously. So what better reason to throw a good party is the end of the school year. Yeah. Right? It's the last event we're organizing before all the internationals go back home or go abroad. Maybe next year we have minors, so you might not see each other for a long time. So we figured it would be a good opportunity to throw one last party.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw you in the clip as well in a very fancy suit, of course. Yes. Is that a little bit the style of the party? Black and tie?
That is definitely the style. The theme is 20s. Yeah. So think about the Great Gatsby, maybe a bit of the mobster era. Fancy suits, dresses, etc.
Etc. Yep. And you will also be going, Philip?
As part of Stuco, as part of Stuco, and also as at the end of my 3rd year, I will definitely go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a big event in the Blokhuisport, yes. As we heard. It was easy to get that location.
I did not take part in getting the location. We did it there last year as well. Then we made a little arrangement with them. It's a great location, I think. If the weather is nice, there's an outside area, which unfortunately we can't play too loud music due to restrictions, etc. But we're going to have a saxophone player outside, which fits the team, of course, to lay down the jazzy vibes a little bit. So hopefully it's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Well, I hope so as well, of course. Could you tell us a little bit more about Stuco as well?
You mean what we are and what we do?
Yeah, what we are, maybe you can...
yeah, I think Philip also explained a lot already. We're kind of a channel, or we try to get the students in touch with the staff and the other way around. Yeah. We do this by gathering feedback from the students. We have meetings with the staff, we communicate with them, we have meetings. And next to that, we try to, be a part of the students as well and enhance the entire student experience you can have here at Stenden by organizing events such as, the Final Call, the media event, which is a pretty big event we do twice a year, and we had a talent show as well. So.
Okay, and it's a safe zone because we are not, we are the channel, like you said. So students can get feedback, give feedback, say us everything,
and will be in safe space again. Exactly. Well, thank you so much. I hope it will be a great success and have a lot of fun.
I hope so too.
I think I will be joining as well. Great. Music can bring people together and can be a way of expressing their emotions. We met with Tamara Mol, who is an 18-year-old MEM student. We met her in Leeuwarden, where we talked about the song she wrote.
Hey, I'm Tamara Mol. I'm 18 years old. I study at Stenden University and I study media and entertainment management. In general, I don't consider myself as a musician, but I've been making music and especially singing all my life. I just like to sit down for a while and just sing for myself in my room. Singing has been a big passion all my life. I didn't want to become a musician. Like, I didn't want to make money with it because it was a passion of mine, and I didn't want it to become actually my work, my job, because I thought that it would be less fun if I would do it that way. But now I'm joining the band at my church, and that's where I sing, and there are also other opportunities where I can go to studio and sing. So I like it as long as it stays my hobby and my passion, but not too serious. I believe I sang basically all my life, and I started playing the guitar for, I think, 2-3 years now. At that time, my granddad, he had cancer and he was really sick, and he was actually dying at that point. And I was very, very sad about that, like the whole situation, and I realized how close I was with my granddad. And one day I was at my home, just in my room, playing the guitar a little bit, and then actually all the words and the chords, they just came, and I wrote the song in one afternoon. And it's all about my grandfather and our relationship.
Your song, it's called Remember. What is it about?
Well, it's actually about my granddad and I. When I was a little kid, we always went to the woods and we went for walks. And my granddad, he always made the bird sounds and the whistles. And we used to go out a lot for long walks. And the song is just about our relationship and how we went out when I was a little kid, and how I will miss that and how I cherish that still. When I made the song, I was actually very happy with the result as well, since I don't play guitar that often or that well, if you would ask me for that. It was actually the first time ever that I wrote the song, and it was really nice from the start, and that was because it was so intense and I really lived the song, and I still do every time I hear it or I play it. And the really nice thing is that when other people hear it, like my friends or family, they tell me that they recognize themselves in that, and that's really nice. That works very encouraging to me.
With us in the studio we have Tamara. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, I want to say the story you're telling in the video is really touching.
Thank you.
Maybe you're going to sing your song in a minute. Before we do that, I have a small question. Behind the scenes are all a couple of people. I think kind of more than 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the most people you've played for, or is it the biggest venue? Or?
No, I've played it once for my friends, and I think we were with like 40 people.
Oh, so this should be easy.
This is easy.
Okay. Well, good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Tamara.
You held my hand, told me we were going out to see the sun. You called me your little friend. I grabbed my jacket and ran to hear the birds and see the beauty of God's word. And I still remember what it was like to look into your eyes, to be right by your side and feel your warmth. And do you remember what it was like to look into my eyes, to keep me really close and to hold me in your arms? Oh, hold me in your arms. We sang together little songs while I was sitting in your embrace. Oh, how I loved your presence, being with until then, I will remember what it was like to look into your eyes, to be right by your side and feel your warmth. And will you remember what it was like to look into my eyes, to keep me really close and to hold me in your arms, hold me in your arms, to hold me in your arms. And I still remember what it was like to look into your eyes, to be right by your side and feel your warmth.
And good luck with everything else. Public speaking can be a challenge. In our next segment, we will talk about TEDx and what it takes to organize and be a part of this thrilling experience.
The majority of the students know TEDx just as a talk. However, TEDx is more than just a talk. It's a great opportunity for students to share their ideas and opinions. This is Paulius Lukosius and he's from Klaipėda, Lithuania. Yeah. He's a second-year leisure management student at Stenden University. He organized the last TEDx talk at Stenden and he's going to tell us what the TEDx talks includes.
TED is an event all about ideas worth spreading. So people come on the stage, they share their ideas, they share their attitude, opinion with the audience, and they want to spread their ideas all about the globe.
Now you know what TEDx is about. Katrin Bunker is a second-year media and entertainment management student and she had the opportunity to hold a TEDx talk here at Stenden. Now she's going to share her ideas.
What's your motivation for you to hold that TEDx talk?
My basic motivation was that I wanted to take the next challenge. So I've never really had the biggest problem with presenting and stuff, but I just wanted to go further and also present somewhere where there's already a big brand behind it, so it's more reliable.
How would you reflect on that? Like, what would you do better or differently?
I probably would have prepared even more, because the 3 days before that I was in Berlin and that was kind of a shitty idea. Yeah, also just talk it through a lot more, and because I kind of lost it twice, but apparently no one heard it. And also in general, I should still learn to talk a lot slower, so and a lot more calm, because that was still really hard because I was so freaking nervous. But yeah, I think in general I can be proud of what I did there.
Would you recommend the TEDx talk to other people to do that?
Obviously, like everyone should do it. I mean, if you're really scared of talking in front of people, don't do it, because like that's something you really stand there with a spotlight on you. So take baby steps. But if you already are really good in presentations and you kind of just have this little motivation, but you're really scared, just do it, apply. I would have never thought that I would do it. And I also would have never thought that it would go so smoothly in the end. So just do it, nothing can go wrong. And also the audience, they were just amazing. So
TEDx is about talks. However, there's much more to it than just the talks. Let's go back to the studio where Paulius is waiting for us.
In the studio with us is Paulius Lukosius, who is the head of the organization behind TEDx. Welcome again. 2 weeks ago we talked about the upcoming TEDx event. It was last week, I guess?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. How did it went?
Yes, actually it went really good.
Yeah?
The event was really successful. People were fascinated about the event, and all in all we got all the good feedback after the event.
How many visitors did you get? How many?
It was around 120 people visiting TEDx.
Yeah. So it was really a good success. And
Yes, people were really, I would say, they really enjoyed the event because we got 9 speakers, 8 speeches, covering many different topics. So I think it was for everyone's taste.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the last couple of years you were busy with organizing the whole TEDx. Could you tell us what the most enjoyable part while organizing the whole event?
I would say the process is really nice because you go step by step when you reach the actual event. So first, because it was this project, it was for 1 year, from September on till May. So we had to go through different steps, like picking up the topic, getting together with the team better, and of course looking for speakers, and then all the arrangements after that.
Yeah.
So I think really interesting is to look for speakers, because in this way you expand your network and you see how hard it is to get the speakers. Yeah.
Talking about how hard it is to get speakers, what is the most difficult part of the whole way of organizing it?
Yes, I would say approaching speakers, because when you are, for example, for me, I'm in Netherlands only 2nd year, and it's really hard to know people who can be speakers in the event. So basically it's all about the research and looking for speakers in different fields.
Yeah, that was really the most difficult, to approach those. Okay. For next year, there will be also a TEDx event?
Yes, of course, because it was already 5th event here in Stenden University. So every year, 2nd year leisure management students organizing this event, because it's a part of our leisure and practice model.
Okay, it's really a part of your study as well.
Yes.
Okay. Would you recommend to the students, maybe of students of MEM, to organize events such as TEDx?
Definitely.
Yeah?
I think this, so far, it was the most professional experience for myself as a future events manager.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this. If you put enough effort, enough work in it, you get really good outcome of like learning perspective.
So you say do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here and for talking about TEDx.
Thanks.
The French state is replacing Christian public holidays with Muslim and Jewish holidays. This headline had generated over 6,000 likes and shares on Facebook. Though this article was not true. In this week's media news we are going to talk about something you have probably heard of before. Fake news. Sometimes the article itself is different than what the headline implies. And sometimes the whole content is just fake. If you don't watch out for this, you could get misinformed, and at a large scale this could have a serious impact.
These days you see many shocking headlines on the social media. But after reading the article, it turns out to be different than the headline implied.
We are going to interview people and ask if the headline is real or fake.
We as media students are aware of all the nonsense on the social media. But what about the citizens of Leeuwarden?
That's for us to find out.
Bloop. We're now in the city center of Leeuwarden.
And we are going to give people headlines and they have to guess if it's real or fake. So, for instance, President Trump is dead. Is it real or fake?
I think it's real. I hope it's real. A new pepper was created called Dragon Breath. When eating it, you could die.
Fake.
Fake. Yes, it's real.
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 Fake.
A flight of United Airlines was delayed for hours because of a scorpion on board.
Fake.
Fake? Possible, but probably fake.
It's real.
Real.
This weekend, somebody in the Netherlands gave birth to a child on a bus.
Fake. Real?
True.
Real.
Fake.
Well, real.
A little boy got stung 32 times by a wasp in one night. Luckily, he survived.
You think it was real?
I think it's fake.
Real.
Fake.
Real.
Donald Trump completed 5 hours to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem.
Fake. That might be real.
It's fake.
Fake.
So, as you just saw, a lot of people are wrong about if the headline is real or fake. So, an advice to you all. Read the headline and read the whole article and be critical of what you think, because there's a lot of fake news around the world.
Let's get back to the studio where we interview an expert on the subject.
Well, I think that was some good advice for us all. At the table is Marijke Schuilenberg, who previously worked in the publishing sector and is currently a teacher at MEM.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. First of all, what did you think of the advice they gave us?
Now, I was shocked a little bit how many people think that a headline is real news and the truth, and it is not. So
no.
It was a little bit shocking. Yeah.
You worked in the publishing sector. Did you work before social media? Were there also articles like fake news?
Yeah, even then there was a
then,
lot of fake news. We didn't mention it like, we didn't say this is fake news, but we knew that it was from the world of advertisement. It was news that was overdone, over the edge. And as a journalist, you read the press release twice or 3 times before you said, I really have an interview now, or I call this person because I want to go in depth. You check the facts then.
Yeah.
So you never took the news for granted and put it in a newspaper, never.
No, but
that's what you see now.
Yeah.
There's something on Facebook going on, and we all press the button and we share it with others, and then it becomes bigger and bigger, and it's not checked.
It's just spreading around all the fake news.
We are living in our own Facebook bubble.
Yeah, that's really true.
Yeah.
And do you think it's the readers responsible, their own responsibility to be media literate?
For the readers, you mean?
Yeah.
Now, you see what happened. A lot of people think that it is the truth, and it's not.
Yeah.
So I think it's too heavy, too difficult for people to say, hey, it's your opinion, or it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
But I think the only answer on this is that, just like the whole PBL session that you have on school, you always need 2 sources. And I think that's for whole life, and for all the news you have to check. Read good
sources.
Newspapers or website, but it must be made with quality, made by professionals, because they check. And if you think, I don't know, then you take another source and then you check it there. I think that's the way we have to live. We have to deal with it.
Yeah, always.
Because it will be there.
Always check before you assume
so.
Something is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you even think there is a solution to stop fake news at all?
No, I think it's always there. Always people who want to joke, always companies who think, I want to fire people, but I will pass this news and I will say, hey, I buy a new factory, and then it's misleading. You know? What is the real news?
Yeah.
And if you are not informed, you think, oh, they're not firing people, they bought a new factory. That's the news.
That's the news, that's it.
But yeah, it's our own responsibility, I think, that you have to be critical and eager to know more.
Yeah.
That must be an attitude of us all.
It's always also a little bit of an advice to everybody watching, be critical.
You must be, that you want to be informed, and I think you also have to know that you have to pay for good quality of the news. It's not for free.
No.
And if we know that we have to pay, then we have real journalists who check the facts for you, and if we also check it by ourselves, then we can know, okay, this is real news and this is fake news. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us something more about it. Thank you.
Okay.
This was our show for today. Thank you all for watching Stenden TV magazine, and we hope to see you next time.